What's going on, everybody? I'm here with Coach Penny Hardaway.
What's up?
Yeah, so excited to get this one up. Been anticipating for a long time. Coach, this is our second year. Y'all about to get ready to start tomorrow, actually, with Christian Brothers. Before we get into the questions, I want to give people the background on you, which I know they already know. A 2-year Tiger, 91 to 93. Drafted the third pick in 93. 14 years in the NBA. 4-time All-Star. 3-time high school coach champion at East High School. That was from 2015 to 2018. Also won state with Leicester Middle School. Named head coach of Memphis Tigers spring of 18, which is a great accomplishment because, of course, like we said, you've been a Tiger. You've been in Memphis' hometown, which is, I think, everybody been anticipating your whole career for you to do this. Even if it wasn't for you, I think everybody's loving this right now for you. Getting into the questions, I know time has been moving fast. Have you been able to take in everything this past year?
You know, it has been moving fast, and I think this summer was the first time I was ever able to take in last season. It went so quick. First year not knowing what was going on, learning on the fly, and then it just was a blur. And then I didn't really get a chance to, reminisce or just kind of look at what happened until really the summer.
Right.
The season was kind of rocky in the beginning, and then we hit a good stride in February and almost got ourselves into the NCAA tournament, but it was a good ride.
And I paid attention the entire season. Of course, was at pretty much every home game. And you guys finished 22-14. That's not bad for the first season and for you to have half of the people who was already here from the last coach. So, honestly, that's not bad at all. But how do you feel about last season and how, you coached last season?
Yeah, I think 22 wins is phenomenal, especially taking over someone else's team. They just had to get used to me, and I had to get used to them. And the chemistry really didn't come together until probably February, which was probably, to me, a month too late of where I wanted it. But to me, it was a success to have 22 wins. The 14 losses came because we had a really tough non-conference schedule. We played some really good teams. Texas Tech, who was in the national championship game. Tennessee, LSU. All those teams made great runs last year, and we just didn't seal the deal like we were supposed to.
And I think for you guys to be so young, because y'all were pretty young last year, I think the experienced people definitely showed up. I think Jeremiah showed up. I think a lot of people who were older definitely showed up, just to show an example, be an example for the younger guys. Now, you finished 5th in the conference, though. That's still not bad. And you made it to the NIT, like you were saying. You did get post-conference play and post-season play. What did you, the coaching staff, and the returners take away from the things that ended this season?
Well, obviously, we didn't buy in early enough. That's what we learned from last year. The guys were kind of doing their own thing early. And we also learned that it's going to take a lot of discipline and a lot of the culture had to change. Like, we couldn't be so loose. We had to be more solid and have more understanding of what we were trying to do if we're going to win. And we understood how hard it was to win.
Right.
So we brought that all back into this season because we knew we were going to get a lot of freshmen coming in, and we had to warn them of the things that the guys from this year faced last year. But I understand that experience is still going to be the best teacher. But we brought those things from last year into this year.
Do you think your freshmen from last year are humble? Your sophomores now, you think they're humble from those games out, those tough games? Because a lot of the games you guys didn't, like you said, 14 losses. Majority of those games I saw, y'all were winning in the beginning. And, halftime came in, slowed up, got tired. Do you think that humbled them a little bit?
It humbled them, obviously, because they were used to being winners. Obviously Tyler Harris has won his entire life. Alex Lomax won 6 state championships in 7 years.
Right.
So, and then the guys that were here, that were from out of town, they understood that, it was an eye-opener because they thought it was going to be easy. If you would have asked all those freshmen and young guys last year how hard they thought it would have been, they would have been like, it won't be that hard. And once they got into the season, and there was 3 different types of seasons. Non-conference, they didn't know who they were, so they got off in a couple games. By the time we got to conference, it was extremely hard because now they've already got the game plan on who you are. And then postseason, in the conference tournament and then in the NIT, everybody knows who you are. So it got harder and harder as the season went on. So they definitely have a different respect for this year's season.
Do you think that summer is a whole nother season too? Because summertime can be tough. One of my next questions is about summer, because I know that is like some of the pivotal times when you grind the most. You get eased in the whole entire season, but the summer is like the most intense because everybody's fresh, everybody's coming back. Now the summer's over now. You had the summer workouts. Freshmen have been on campus a few months. With the returners and newbies, how has the summer been and how have you felt? Have you felt any growth?
Well, I think that obviously, we got a new strength and conditioning coach, and he came in doing a great job. all the guys have gotten bigger physically. You know, you can just tell their bodies are stronger. Mentally, they've gotten better from when they first stepped, especially the freshmen, when they stepped here in June until now. And the summer is the time to just, from guys last year, to refresh your mind, to kind of look back on the season, see where your weaknesses are, and keep working on your weaknesses, and just keep getting better because you know what to expect this year.
Right.
It's not going to be a surprise. So with the returning guys, they had that aspect, and with the freshmen, just try to take in as much as you can and try to ask as many questions as you could.
Have you seen the older guys, trying to, embrace the younger guys, not bring them under their wing, just, show them that it's going to get tougher. It's not high school no more.
Yeah, I think the older guys are doing that, and that's a testament to who they are because they really just want to win. But the freshmen are a little hard-headed, so I think the experience is going to be the best teacher. Like, that won't happen to me.
Right.
It will happen to you, and there will be some very hard games, and you're going to need to lean on the veterans in those games.
Right. That is great. The greatest quote ever, experience is the best teacher, because you won't learn until you get the experience. And it will slap you in the face.
It will. And it did.
Now, all sports watchers know the buzz about you guys' recruiting class. We've been talking about the freshmen, but you guys had the #1 recruiting class in the country this year. How excited are you about that class and the ability that your freshmen have to help the upper class?
Yeah, it was to me it was a perfect storm how we got the #1 recruiting class. Obviously, when you get the #1 player in the country and James Wiseman, then other guys want to play with him.
Right.
Then they got DJ Jeffries. DJ Jeffries had committed to Kentucky but decommitted and then came here. And all these guys just started forming this friendship through social media, through text messages, and just started talking about how they wanted to play together. And then we got Lester, and then we got Precious, and then Boogie, who had signed with Duke and then, decommitted from there. So it was almost like a perfect storm, but to be able to get the #1 class in the country, it's amazing because this is only in our second year.
Right.
This is Memphis. I don't think it's ever happened in the history of the school. That says a lot about our staff and how hard we work.
And now, how humble does the whole team have to be with that, with it on their back? One of my other questions was, you just became 14 in AP polls. How humble do you guys have to be right now in order to just to get past the first few games? Just knowing that even if we take an L, it's nothing because forget the polls, forget all that. We want to win in the end of it all.
Yeah, obviously we understand that we got ranked. We had the #1 recruiting class, and then now they've ranked us in the preseason as 14th. I obviously think that's too low.
Right.
I think we should be higher in the rankings because when you get the #1 recruiting class, they usually give you the respect of at least top 10. But it's kind of twofold. We're the hunters because we're young and we want to prove, but in some cases we're the hunted because of who we are and getting the #1 recruiting class. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if that's ever happened here before, but we're hunting the top 13 teams. But then every team wants to beat us because of us having the #1 recruiting class.
I think they make the season so exciting though. Like you said, y'all preyed upon, but nobody knows what y'all capable of right now.
Right.
No one knows that right now. And I think even with the first couple games, nobody should put you guys in a box. I don't think, even from last year with all the hype, I think people try to put you guys in a box. And the whole season I watched, I'm like, I felt like you guys did amazing for the first season.
Yeah,
but, for you not to have your recruiting class and for you to, teach these guys for, under somebody else's coaching, I think y'all did amazing. I think that even this year y'all shouldn't be put in the box because you got multiple years ahead of you, but I know this year is so intense because of the #1 recruiting class, but I do think you guys are capable though. And the fact that nobody knows what you're capable of is just, like you said, is you're getting preyed upon and you pray. So it's like, man, it's tough. I just think, I'm most excited to see how humble your young people can be. Because to be the #1 recruiting class, that means, man, like you said, decommits so much behind that.
Yeah, there's a lot going on because you got to think about this. Not only about the decommit from DJ, the decommit from Boogie, actually the decommit from ALO the year before,
right?
And all of this that happened, the target is on regardless, and that's just what comes along with having a #1 recruiting class and being in the top 20. But I like that pressure, I really do, because it keeps you on your toes every game. It keeps you staying hungry because we don't have a chance. We don't even have the opportunity to get complacent. We got to always stay on our toes and be ready to play. And I think with them ranking us so low, we could always give that motivation. And fair or unfair to young guys, in one sense they're saying we're too young to win, but then they're also, like you said, putting us in the box So that should be the same thing. If they're so young, why are you putting them in a box?
Right.
So we'll see how it goes.
I do think that we just named Alo, Tyler. I do think those guys are gonna hold their own because, like last year, I think they seen how this is not high school. This is not, like you said, the game's faster, more intense. You meeting people, who's even better than you when you get on the court. So I think they will hold their own. I think the freshmen do have a lot to uphold because number one recruiting class, and James I think has the most. How do you feel about that? I think James has the most pressure right now on the team. I think.
Yeah, anytime you're number one, it's like right now Michigan State is number one. Everybody's hunting for number one.
Mm-hmm.
James is the number one player coming into this season out of high school into college. So there's other players that think that they're better, and then there's going to be players from teams who are going to try to show him, hey, it's not going to be easy, and he's going to have a target on his back all year. So that's what comes along with being number one. I'd rather have that than nobody talking about me.
Exactly. I'd much rather have that. I keep want to put emphasis on this recruiting class because I think it was so much dramatics behind it. And now that you guys are number 14, that just came out this week. So many people are expecting you guys to do so much, which is, like you said, you love the pressure, and I think that's perfect for the whole environment for the city of Memphis, period. We haven't been this intense since Calipari, since D-Rose, since CDR, since Dorsey. We haven't been this intense, and I'm so excited for the season. Now, like I said, I pretty much watched the whole entire season last year and been keeping up. And I'm most likely shocked about how embedded your players are to play for you. Of course, an NBA player, all-star, all of this, but I think as a man, they see you more, as an influencer.
Right.
And I think they have faith in what you can bring to their game. Instead of just, being in their life, I think they know that as a person, as a basketball player, you're going to actually bring something to their life.
Yeah, I think that they understand first that I care about them. And I think when you get that trust from them and you earn that, then they know that you can help them basketball wise. But they also not only need a coach, they need a father figure, they need a role model, and somebody that's going to push them. Even though some days you're pushing, they don't like, but they understand it's for the betterment. So I think they bought in early enough when they were younger, the guys that I coached younger, that this guy can really help me get to my goal.
Right.
And that's why they chose to come to Memphis. And I was happy to see them come to Memphis because as a coach, it makes my job easier because the more guys you have that have played for you, they'll send the message and relay the message to the rest of the guys that this is how we're used to doing things and make it a lot easier on those guys as well.
Now, with the number 2, you guys were predicting number 2 in the conference. And to me, I felt you guys should have been number 2 last year because, of course, Houston has always been one hump to get over in this conference. How do you feel about Houston this year, being that you guys are tit for tat with the coaches voting on this year?
Yeah, well, first I'd like to give the respect to Cincinnati. They ran this league for a while. They were the big dogs, and they won conference tournament last year, even though I think Houston ended up number 1.
Right.
Coming into this year, they tied us with Houston because Houston has a veteran team, and we have a young team, and Cincinnati's 3rd. But the thing about it is you just got to play. And the one thing you're going to get from Houston every night is that tough, hard-nosed grittiness. We don't have an identity yet because we're so young. It's yet to be seen out on the floor. So that's probably why they ranked us even and maybe a little bit under Houston because in this league is a veterans league. They don't really believe in freshmen and freshmen can do it. So we just have to go out and prove it.
So with that being said, how do you feel about, being in that middle spot between Cincinnati and Houston? Because y'all were so close to being in number 1 spot, but like you said, Cincinnati is right there behind y'all. And the conference is so tough that you got to tell your players, hey, we really runner up all together. There's no first, second, or third. We really trying to make sure that we get these wins in.
Well, I'll tell you the way that I really looked at that. I looked at that as we really don't want to rank y'all this high, but with y'all recruiting class, we have to. It's almost like they wanted to rank us below them. That's why I said we'll just tie you with these guys, but we got the real guys right under you and the real guys tied with you. So to me, if they really believed in us, they would have said you guys are unanimously number 1. But they didn't. They said we're going to tie you with Houston, but we're going to put another really good team under you guys. Now, they're going to prove that they're where they are. Can y'all guys stay where y'all are?
Coach, I did not think about that. Honestly, I do think the conference is pretty tough, but I think you guys will uphold. You guys, Memphis Tigers 2019-2020 season starts tomorrow. I'm excited.
I'm excited as well.
Pretty strong to be at the game. What do you expect out of the season from your guys? Is it intensity? Is it just motivating each other? Or what do you guys want out of this season?
Well, obviously we want the carryover from practice and what we've been teaching. That's something as a coach, when you build this process is a part of building up to certain things. And I think every week, every month, we're going to get better because we're young, but we're going to gradually get better. Still go back to that same phrase, experience is the best teacher. You know, so I think that tomorrow when they see us on the floor, it's going to be intensity. It's going to be high level of energy, and it's going to be a bunch of guys out there on the same page, communicating. The rotations are going to be great, and then once we get that rebound, we're out and running. We want to be the fastest team in the country.
That is exactly what I'm most anticipating guys running game. So many nice guards. The bigs are crazy. Of course, you got the #1 recruiter in James Wiseman and DJ Jeffries. So long. Y'all are very long this year. I'm going to say last year you guys weren't as long or as long as you are this year. So many arms and legs this year. I think you guys would dominate the rebound game. The push game, I'm so excited to see because I feel like rebound 1-2 dribbles layup this year.
We're down.
I just see it because you got so many quick guards. I see Alex and Tyler just getting down the court boogie. I don't see them holding the ball at all this year. Even you guys standstill play, half court play. How do you feel about? I'm going to ask you about how you feel about the half court play this year.
Well, obviously you're going to have to do that if you're going to win a national championship. You're not going to be able to play. You try to impose your will, which we want to run, but some teams are going to slow you down, play to the end of the shot clock, and if they're making baskets and we're playing bad D, then they're going to slow the ball up. It's going to be a slow game. So I think that half quarters is important, just as important as the fast break because we have some great sets. We play an NBA offense. We play out of concept. So if we get into a half court game, I feel like we can do that very well along with running.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get this interview up. Coach, I want to thank you so much
for
sitting down with me. I know this is about to go up. Like I said, you guys, tomorrow the season starts, and I want y'all to keep up with the Tigers the rest of the year. Number 14 in the country right now, supposed to finish 2 in the AAC. We looking for #1, y'all. Coach Penny Hardaway, keep going. Look.